Come on, baby. Where you at? Come on, eat it! Here we go.
Holy moly. Did your camera on? Did you get the jump?
Yeah, probably. My hips turn that way.
Cool. Oh my god.
It's a derby.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Here we go. First fish in the new boat. On a rod that Chris built. On spinners that Chris built. On a lure.
A
Right?
fly that I
Fly
tied.
that he tied.
But I literally made the spinners from sheet metal this morning. He's a fighter.
That's a big one. Oh yeah.
Oh god, don't make me nervous.
Why? Here we go.
I don't want to lose him. Oh, he is a big one.
Come on, baby. Where you at? Where you at?
Yeah. Woohoo! Thank you, Andrew. Ooh, he's a holdover.
Oh, look at that.
Champion.
What do you think?
I think that's awesome. Then the hook came out. Good job, Andrew. Andrew, oh, came off. Andrew got surprised and scared by a fish. Been trying to pop my knee back in. All right, good job, Andrew. What do you think of that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Came back for a split second. Get it. There he is.
Okay. Here comes the derby fish.
Oh, it's a bluegill. Bluegills fight so good they got shoulders. Look at him.
That's a nice one.
This is a big bluegill. Look at that. He got bit. See, he got bit by a big fish.
Yeah.
All right, we're not after bluegill today. Lucky day, Bubba. Those are what's biting. Oh, that's a nice one, Andrew. Oh, oh. Okay, not a monster, but he's a fishy. Well, they're at this end too, then. Beautiful.
Hey everybody, so in the video you just saw, Andrew and I were trolling spinner blades in front of the flies that I had tied. And so there's a brand that's been around for a long time. I think they're still around. And when I used to troll trout all the time, I always used that brand, size 3.5. And I don't know if they're actually 3.5 inches long or not. I don't remember. I don't have any to compare to. But anyways, when we decided we were going to go fishing, I didn't even think about what we were going to troll with. And then we were in the shop, and it was probably after midnight already. And I thought, well, geez, I like to use some of those blades. And thought, well, there's no way we're going to be able to get any before tomorrow or later that day. But I thought, well, maybe I'll just make some. And so we had some of this steel in the bin, and can't remember the gauge. This might be 20 gauge, 20 or 18. Anyway, so I marked it off like this for 2 blades. And so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this, and then I'll show you exactly what we did to make our own blades to troll with, because we caught fish on them. And if you're ever in a pinch and need to make your own blades, this is how you do it. All right, so we've got our 2 blanks here, and I'm going to give them a rough trim to give them that willow leaf shape, just spinner blade shape. Not even going to mark it on there. I'm just going to just cut them freehand, and we'll show you that and everything else we do. Hey everybody, I decided to refine it a little bit, because the more I can trim off, the less that we have to file or sand. But I'll still be doing some sanding on the belt sander to give it a final or a better refined. Whoops! I got a little far, guys. So I just followed it up. As Bob Ross said, it's a happy little mistake. So didn't really make much of a difference. A little odd shape there, but gonna take it to the belt sander now. Okay everybody, if you use a belt sander, because of the speed that it's going, and then it's hogging off the material so quick, the friction is going to heat up the metal. If you just hand file these, it won't get that hot, obviously. But so I'm going to try it with this little vice grip so that I don't burn my fingers. So, not a bad shape. I'll refine that, since it was skipping on the belt there. I'll refine it with the file, and we'll put a hole back there and then do some bending. But let me do the other one real quick. So they're not exactly the same, but that's okay. That's why fish hit things, because they're a little different. All right, let me file. And it's not going to get hot, but I'm going to clamp it anyways just to make it easier to hold. And bear in mind, if you're making these, you want to take off all the burrs on the edges. Do some hand sanding maybe so that it's not rough, because your line may be hitting on these blades. So, and the other thing too is, like I said, this is probably 18 or 20 gauge. A little thinner is fine. A little thinner is probably better, because these actually were heavier spinners when we got them made. So. All right, I'll do the other one and then we'll get back with you. So everybody, I sanded these down so that they're nice and smooth. And so the next step is we got to drill some holes at the top to attach the clevises to the spinner shaft. So I got one of these spring-loaded punches, and I'm just going to give it a little pop. And I'm guessing that, you know, guessing where center is. Don't do anything, you know, too, that was way off center. If you measure everything, then life's too structured. What fun is that? Actually, the first one's really good. The second one's really bad. So let me punch it one more time. All right, gonna go over to the drill press and drill a couple holes out. Alright everybody, so got 2 holes there. So now we come to the fun part. Alright everybody, so usually these blades, imagine a line going from top to bottom down the center, and they're usually folded in a little bit and then cupped a little. Didn't really get it that good when I made these before, so I'm not really too worried because they actually spun just fine. Ooh, that's all right. I sanded down the ball point on the hammer a little because it was leaving some marks. It's pretty dinged up though. I'm gonna have to really work on it to make it better. So just gonna start striking this again. And you see it's starting to curl, even though it's on a flat surface. It's on wood and it's kind of flexes and gives. And I know anybody that body shop or car repair and all that, you all might be looking at this thinking crazy, but here's the thing. If I just want to go fishing and I don't have the blade that I need, I'm going to make it. And so you see this has nice bow to it. Even if it doesn't have the bend going down the center, this is still going to spin on a spinner shaft. So this is how we made the blades. And just kind of took some Scotch-Brite to them and polished them up a little bit, but worked great. So we're going to show you how to make a clevis in a second, and how to put them on a shaft. All right, everybody, so I'm doing this because we don't have the stainless wire that we used that night. And I'm wearing a black hoodie, so it's black wire, so I'm putting this in front so we can see what we're doing. So I recommend that if you do this, you would use stainless wire, but if you don't have stainless and you're only gonna go fishing a couple of times, then anything will work. You just bear in mind that it'll probably rust. So what we ended up doing was we put a loop in the metal, in the wire, okay? And obviously you'd want to clean that up, but so you can't do this. You can't just put your spinner blade on the wire, because that's not gonna work, okay? So you have to make a clevis, and you can take apart a spinner blade that you have, or you can make your own clevis. And so take some more wire, and this is a little sloppy, everybody. I apologize. Don't want it sloppy. You have to trim all these off too, all these ends, so that nothing gets hung up on them. Did what it was supposed to do, slipped through. All right, everybody, so that's a rough clevis. This wire is way too big, but basically you'd have a loop, it'd go through your blade, and you have another loop back onto the spinner shaft, okay? And ideally in a situation like this, you'd have a couple of beads underneath, and so it would ride on those beads. What we ended up doing was took thread and wrapped it around the spinner shaft and then put super glue on it, and that acted as a stop so that it's set up here, and then we put the second one up higher, and then we put another loop at the top, tie the main line to, and then the leader to the hook. So, and that's all we did, and we went out there and they spun really well trolling in the water. So if you're gonna go trolling for trout and you need the spinner blades, it only takes a few minutes to make these if you got the stuff. And it's kind of cool to be able to make something yourself, go out and catch fish on it. As you saw in the video, maybe you didn't hear it, the fishing rod I was using, I built, made the blades, the shaft and everything, and tied the fly. The only thing that I didn't make on that was the line and the night crawler, because we did tip the flies with a night crawler. So anyways, that's how we did it. Hopefully you guys can go out and do this yourself. Go fishing, and don't forget,
go outside.
Go outside, everybody. Catch some fish, have some fun.